Imagine this. You wake up on your Social Security payment day. You check your bank account. Your check is there, but it's only half of what it should be. No warning, no phone call. Just half your rent money, half your grocery money, half your entire monthly income gone. This is happening to real Americans right now. And what makes it even more infuriating is that in many of these cases, it is not the recipient's fault. The Social Security Administration made the mistake, overpaid them, sometimes for years without anyone noticing, and now they're demanding the money back at 50 cents on every dollar of benefits you receive. This is called the Social Security Overpayment Clawback Crisis. And today, I'm going to explain exactly what it is, who it affects, what your rights are if it happens to you, and the specific steps to take right now to make sure you are never blindsided by this. Let me walk you through exactly how this situation developed, because understanding the history helps you understand your rights. Social Security overpayments happen when the SSA pays a beneficiary more than they are legally entitled to receive. This can happen for several reasons. The SSA might have incorrect information on file. A beneficiary might have failed to report a life change, like getting married, returning to work, or a change in income, that would reduce their benefit amount. Or the SSA's own systems might simply make a calculation error. Between fiscal years 2015 and 2022, the Social Security Administration estimates it made nearly $72 billion in overpayments. However, this figure represents less than 1% of the total benefits paid out during that period. Many overpayments are not the fault of beneficiaries, but rather miscalculations on the part of the Social Security Administration itself. Here's where the policy roller coaster begins. For years, the SSA's default policy was to withhold 100% of a beneficiary's monthly check until the overpayment was fully recovered. That meant if you were overpaid $10,000, your entire check would be withheld until the SSA got every penny back, leaving some beneficiaries with literally zero income for months. In 2024, the Biden administration changed this policy, capping the clawback at just 10% of monthly benefits. Under the Biden administration, the SSA capped the clawback rate at 10%, stepping back from its prior 100% level, following reports that the higher rate had pushed some Americans into financial hardship and even homelessness. Then, the Trump administration reversed the reversal. On March 7, the Trump administration announced that beginning March 27, to recover new overpayments, the Social Security Administration would automatically withhold 100% of recipients' monthly benefits. The agency said it was acting in the interest of fiscal responsibility and that the reversal would save the government about $7 billion over a decade. The public outcry was immediate and fierce. Advocacy groups, members of Congress from both parties, and millions of Americans pushed back hard. Within weeks, the Social Security Administration slashed the rate down to 50% for certain beneficiaries. For new overpayment notices sent on or after April 25th, the 50% default withholding rate applies to Title II benefits, which include retirement, survivor, and disability insurance. The withholding rate for supplemental security income remains at 10%. So where does that leave us today? In the last 100 days, the clawback rate went from 10% to 100% and now to 50%, according to Richard Fiesta, Executive Director of the Alliance for Retired Americans. It has been a chaotic policy period, and for the roughly 1 million beneficiaries who collectively owe around $23 billion in overpaid benefits, the uncertainty has been genuinely terrifying. Now let me talk about who is actually being hit by this, because the numbers paint a picture that should make everyone angry, regardless of political affiliation. The clawback policy could prove especially hard on the 40% of Social Security beneficiaries who rely on the program for 90% or more of their income. These are not people with 401ks and investment portfolios to fall back on. These are people for whom Social Security is their entire financial existence. When half that check disappears, they literally cannot pay rent or buy food. An estimated 1 million beneficiaries collectively owed around $23 billion in overpaid benefits at the end of fiscal year 2023. Those retirees could face losing half their Social Security income until they've paid back all the overpayments. The cruelest part of this system? It can take the government years to figure out it has been paying someone too much. By then, the amount the government says is owed can grow far beyond a beneficiary's ability to repay. And the SSA has often demanded that recipients repay the full amount within 30 days. Think about what that means. The SSA makes a calculation error. They overpay you by $200 per month for 5 years. You spend that money in good faith, having no idea there's a problem. Then one day you receive a letter telling you that you owe $12,000 and you have 30 days to pay it back. You're 73 years old and living on $1,800 per month. What are you supposed to do? In 2026, the Social Security Administration is grappling with staffing shortages and outdated IT systems, leading to an increase in specific types of payment errors. Automated systems sometimes fail to apply the correct recovery protocols, leaving some beneficiaries with a $0 deposit when they expected their full check. SSDI and SSI recipients are the most vulnerable because their benefits can legitimately change month to month based on their income and circumstances, making overpayments more common and often more confusing. Experts at Justice and Aging have called losing even 50% of income devastating for people who rely on their benefits to pay rent or a mortgage and buy food. This is the most important segment of today's video. If you receive an overpayment notice, or if your check is suddenly much smaller than expected, here's exactly what to do, step by step. Step 1. Do not panic. You have rights and time. If someone cannot afford full recovery of their overpayment, they can contact Social Security at 1-800-772-1213 or their local office to request a lower rate of recovery. Additionally, people have the right to appeal the overpayment decision or the amount. They can ask Social Security to waive collection of the overpayment if they believe it was not their fault and they cannot afford to pay it back. Step 2. File for a waiver within 30 days. Request a waiver or appeal within 30 days of the date on your notice. The SSA will not collect money until it decides on your request. This is critical. The moment you file a waiver or appeal, the SSA must pause collection while they review your case. If you do nothing and just wait, the withholding begins automatically. The form you need is called the SSA 632, Request for Waiver of Overpayment Recovery. You can get it at any SSA office or online at ssa.gov. Fill it out and submit it immediately. In the waiver, you will explain that the overpayment was not your fault and/or that repaying it would cause financial hardship. Step 3. Request a reduced payment rate. Even if the SSA denies your waiver, you can negotiate the recovery rate. The 50% withholding is the default, but it is not the only option. You can call 1-800-772-1213 and request a lower monthly withholding amount based on your financial situation. Many people successfully negotiate this down to 10% or even less when they can demonstrate genuine hardship. Step 4. Request a reconsideration if you dispute the overpayment itself. If you believe you were not actually overpaid or the amount is wrong, you have the right to appeal the overpayment decision itself. File a request for reconsideration within 60 days of receiving your notice. During this appeal process, collection is typically paused. Step 5. Get free legal help if needed. Beneficiaries who are dealing with overpayment issues also face long wait times to contact the SSA, which can interfere with their ability to exercise options available to them. If you're struggling to navigate the process, contact your local legal aid organization. Many areas have free legal services specifically for seniors. The National Council on Aging Helpline can also connect you with local assistance. The best defense is staying ahead of this. Changes in your life that should be reported to the SSA to prevent overpayments include becoming disabled and unable to work, getting married, separated, or divorced, taking a new job, or any change in your income. Report every life change to the SSA promptly. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov and make sure all your information is current. While we're here today, let me give you a quick update on this month's remaining payment schedule, because April 22nd is just 5 days away. For April 2026, beneficiaries born between the 21st and the 31st receive their payment on April 22nd. The fourth Wednesday of the month. If that's your group, your money is coming next Wednesday. Make sure your direct deposit information is up to date at ssa.gov right now. Also important, for anyone in the middle of an overpayment situation, the Medicare Part B premium increase from $185 to $202.90 effectively reduced the real increase from the 2.8% COLA from $56 down to just $38.10 per month for most Medicare recipients, because the $17.90 Part B increase absorbed nearly 32% of the monthly gain. If you received an overpayment notice on top of this Medicare bite, the financial squeeze is real. Act on your rights immediately. Here's one more angle on today's story that connects to the bigger financial picture. The overpayment clawback situation is happening at the same time that inflation is pushing your future COLA higher. Independent analyst Mary Johnson has already revised her 2027 COLA estimate up to 3.2% following March's CPI report, up from just 1.2% 2 months ago. The official number will be announced in October based on July through September inflation data. With the Iran war continuing and oil above $4 at the pump, Q2 and potentially Q3 inflation readings could push that number even higher. A 3.2% COLA on $2,071 average benefits means roughly $66 more per month starting January 2027. That's not life-changing, but combined with protecting yourself from the overpayment clawback and maximizing every dollar of your current benefit, it adds up. The system is not always fair. The SSA makes errors and then asks you to pay for them, but you have rights. Know them, use them, and share this video with every Social Security recipient you know, because most people don't learn about these rights until it's too late. Let's recap today's key points. The SSA overpayment clawback is real and currently set at 50% of benefits for new notices. 1 million beneficiaries owe $23 billion collectively. If you receive a notice, file for a waiver within 30 days, request a lower recovery rate, appeal if you dispute the amount, and report all life changes to prevent future overpayments. April 22nd payment is 5 days away for birthdays from the 21st to the 31st. Make sure your direct deposit is correct. If this video helped you or someone you love, please hit that like button and subscribe right now. Share this with every Social Security recipient you know. This information is too important to stay inside one video. Drop a comment below. Have you or someone you know been hit with an overpayment notice? Your experience helps the community understand what's happening out there. I'll see you tomorrow.